there was a time in the process of shooting where, because this shoot went really fast, but there was a time where I really felt like, God, I hope I don't. I mean, it's going to be such a bummer doing a movie with somebody else besides Lucy, because there's a shorthand that we had where, I mean, there was a certain amount of improv, but it was also just going through the script in a way that was so exciting, not fighting over scenes, but just kind of finding them together, and it felt really creative.
You guys had incredible chemistry. How did you build that? What was the rehearsal process like?
Terrible. It was really hard. No, I'm just
We're
kidding.
in a fight
We're
right
in a fight
now.
right now. It was great. I mean, he's the easiest person to get along with. I feel like we work in a similar way.
We were getting along really well until I accidentally said a swear word on the Today Show this
today.
morning. And then now we've been in just a bitter feud.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Who
just kidding.
curses on the Today Show?
I thought it was funny. It just slipped out. It was so early, and I hadn't had any coffee, and I did say, "Guys, can I have that coffee before we go?" And then I was just kind of in a dream. It was like a dream state.
This is
but
what it was
Al
like
Roker
filming. We would just avoid the question, which is like we've completely.
I love working with Lucy because she's an incredible actress, and also when they say executive producer, she deserves it a lot more than I do. She was really involved with every step of the way, and also, I have to say, got me the job. So I am extra grateful to Lucy.
Story of how we
met.
So we originally met in 2014 at the Teen Choice Awards.
It's a really prestigious award ceremony. I think they give out a surfboard.
I still have the surfboard.
Me too. Yeah.
We
can't really
met
surf
on the
with it,
carpet, and I tweeted that night, really late at night, Nat Wolff might be the cutest. And then you can still find the tweet. He responded back, "I liked your speech." That was his response. But then I ended up working with Nat's brother on a movie a couple years after that. And then when we were thinking about casting for this movie, Peter and I both thought of you. You're one of my favorite people I've ever worked with.
Thank you.
Truthfully.
Thank you. You're one of my favorite. And that was a nice speech. Just kidding. No, the reason, call back. The reason why I said it was a nice speech, we did have like a really beautiful moment, but my girlfriend at the time wasn't crazy about me tweeting
about you at 2 a.m.
2 in the morning.
Okay.
So I gave a response that was maybe a little less loving, but now I love her so much. And we were like, there was a time in the process of shooting where, because this shoot went really fast, but there was a time where I really felt like, God, I hope I don't. I mean, it's going to be such a bummer doing a movie with somebody else besides Lucy, because there's a shorthand that we had where, I mean, there was a certain amount of improv, but it was also just going through the script in a way that was so exciting, not fighting over scenes, but just kind of finding them together, and it felt really creative. And also I learned a lot from her because she's done all these rom-coms, and I've been out of the game for a bit.
You did a great job.
So you think we'll see another film together soon?
Which brings me to 2.
I love that.
To 2.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to go off of something you talked about a few minutes ago, Lucy. The fact that you guys were in each other's memory scenes, so to speak. I'd love to hear a little bit more about how you guys came up with that concept and what it was like shooting those.
So, let me get the mic. So it was, excuse me, in the original script, the flashbacks were always there, but I don't know at what point where you thought, oh, in order to keep Jane and Will's love story alive, maybe the modern versions of them could intercept the flashbacks.
Well, actually, I have a funny story. I don't even know if you guys know it, but my mom loves movies like this, like romantic movies. So I sent her the script, and she said, "I love it."
Idea.
And she said, "I love it, but I wish that they're not together so much of the time." And so then I thought, oh, maybe they could be, inserting themselves into those scenes. And then I thought maybe we could play all of each other's. I thought I was going to play all her boyfriends and she could play all my girlfriends. And they said, that's really stupid.
That's not going to make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. So then, it's like I went for an insane idea and then just backtracked it a little bit. But it kind of harkened back, same with the song It Had to Be You. It harkened back to Annie Hall and When Harry Met Sally, and just a lot of great, movies with interesting conceits like that.
Yeah, I think it was a risk, but I think it was worth it. We did it.
They did that. I'd love to hear, did you guys have like a most memorable moment while filming this?
It sounds like nothing was memorable, but
All
it's just
of it
everything was so memorable. Oh,
I-
I'm not. Oh, can I tell
No,
one?
please. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not allowed to have caffeine, or I haven't been allowed to have caffeine because I'm natural.
So much caffeine.
I've had a lot of caffeine today because the Today Show was a nightmare. So we had to do something. So I've had a lot of caffeine today. But during the shoot, I had never really had caffeine. And then Lucy would have these enormous coffees that were like, this big. And I started taking sips of one when she wasn't looking, and I had like probably half of it. And I started running around the parking lot, and then I got in the trunk of a car and shut myself in it, and Lucy screamed out, "This is why Nat isn't allowed to have caffeine."
True story.
I got it on film.
True
So
story.
it's a really good
That's a
story.
really great story.
I'm gonna tell it from the top. Okay, so I'm not allowed to have caffeine, and
I think you know what I remember a lot, especially at the amusement park. It was when all of those, what were the bugs? The invasive species.
Oh, the lantern
They
flies?
were everywhere.
Lucy turned into like a serial killer with those things. Yeah.
I was ready to kill. I remember that. I think my favorite scene to shoot.
That was also a really good story.
Okay, you know what? Come on.
We're
We're
she's
just
gonna throw me
reliving
under the bus about the caffeine.
memories. Okay, let's talk about our favorite scene. I think I love the ending. I love all the hotel stuff. I thought that was really beautiful. What was your favorite scene to shoot?
I liked a lot of the stuff in the amusement park. It was so fun because it was all in one day, and it was probably the second day of shooting or third day of shooting. I thought, oh, we got it. We kind of got into our rhythm.
Guess what our first scene of filming was? The closet. Peter, the director, thought it would be great that two actors who don't really know each other that well would start in the closet, but it did ultimately make sense because we were just meeting for the first time in the movie.
Yeah.
Start off with a bang. Yeah.
Well, one of my,
Unintentional pun.
well, one of my favorite scenes was sorry. One of my favorite scenes was that musical moment. I mean, you both are musicians in your own right, which I'm obsessed with. And I love the little duet we sort of get to see you guys have in this. And I was curious, was there any specific song or any routine that kind of helps you get into character?
For that specific song?
For any song to help you get into
This
role.
is the first time, no, this is the second time I've ever sang in a movie. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanna go?
Just songs that we listen to on set, or songs.
Into character. or
For
if you have
some
a
reason, I
routine.
listen to a lot of Francis and the Lights.
What were you playing? I could hear it through the trailer. You would always play something. Bless the Telephone. You love that song.
That's what I just said. Francis and the Lights. That's Bless the Telephone. Yeah,
wow.
that's crazy. And I kind of just made that up. I didn't even remember if that was true or not.
I
and
think
that must have been.
And I think we always knew we
Um,
wanted the movie to feel nostalgic and have an oldies feel. I feel like we
Yeah.
were listening to.
I mean, we listened to It Had to Be You. That's how it ended up in the movie. That wasn't in the script. Yeah, It Had to Be You. I was listening to a lot of And So It Goes, Billy Joel song, a lot of Frank Sinatra, just a lot of songs that were kind of that time and mood.
I love that. And just to wrap things up, the story.
We don't want to go, and these guys don't want to go.
I want brighter lights. Bring the lights up.
This story finds Jane and Will kind of reliving their romantic humiliations. We've got a room of actors here. What is your most embarrassing audition story, and how did you get through it?
Oh. Okay, this was one that kind of still haunts me to this day. I don't know if it was necessarily embarrassing, but I was new to LA. It was for Friday Night Lights. It was kind of my first time being in a room with people of this caliber. I can't remember what character it was, but it was with Peter Berg. And I go in and I felt really confident about the scenes. And he's like, great. Now can you sing the national anthem? And I'm like, huh? Like the character didn't sing. It had nothing to do with music. So I sang the national anthem because I could sing a little bit. And then he's like, great. Now I need you to sing like you're trashed. And I was like, it was one of those moments where I thought I was in a nightmare. Do you have those like out of body moments where you're like, is this actually happening?
I'm having
I did
it right now.
And needless to say, I didn't get the part. But that was like that was probably my scariest audition moment. And also probably embarrassing.
I had one where I came in and it was for like 5 lines. It was one of my first auditions. And she was like, all right, that's good. Now we're going to do something else. So pretend you're in a car. And so I was like doing the car. And then she's like, and pretend you're like drinking a soda, like a big soda. And I'm like, so then I have both hands and I'm doing a fake soda and a fake car. And she's like, and now slam on the brakes. And I'm like, and so I did the whole thing. So it was basically like it ended up being a miming.
So yeah.
It was basically like a miming exercise. What was it for? Little.
Friday Night Lights.
Was yours for? That was yours for Friday Night. Is that
Yeah.
what you said?
Yeah. I meant yours.
Weirdly enough, it was a Pete Berg thing too. It
Really?
was I can't remember. It was Leftovers. Yeah, and they were like drive and do this and da 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 da. Yeah, great show. It was for a little movie called Taxi Driver. I don't know, The Godfather. No, but it is so. I mean, you guys all know it's so terrifying doing an audition. Actually, just a week ago, I did my first in-person audition since 2019 because of COVID and doing everything on Zoom. And I thought it's kind of moving going back and seeing everybody. And then I was so excited, the idea that we're going to be back in the room. And then on the way, my heart started pounding. And I was like, oh, I hate this. Yeah, I hate this. I forgot how much I hate this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you for having
for
us. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks, guys.
You can check out Which Brings Me to You in theaters January 19th. Again, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. Have a great night, everybody.